Hello everyone, welcome to Stack and Q, and today we are going to present a video that is totally related on the usage of MacBook Air M1 chip after 6 months of usage, how the situation is of this particular system and how have things gone over the last 6 months from the developer's perspective and point of view. What are the things that has been changed and what are the things that are still the same. So before rolling into that, I would request everyone to just click the bell button below to the video to subscribe to my channel so that I can get a little bit boost up and roll out more such similar videos. And I believe that there are lots of good videos that you have already seen regarding the MacBook M1 chip when it just started to just roll out or in the beginning phases. So they will give you that those videos are just really cool videos that I have seen, and you already have an idea by this time that what the MacBook M1 chip is all about, and I don't have to just explain things all over. But what this video will be just presenting you is what has happened to the MacBook M1, Apple's M1 chip computer after rigorous usage of 6 months. What is the difference, what has happened, and what still could have been upgraded with this MacBook M1 chip. But prior to that, please feel free to just subscribe to my channel and just hit like button to my videos, and feel free to share your thoughts, write your comments, everything, and I'll just try to just follow up. And I believe there are a lot of things to just learn by everyone, and yeah, if there are some mistakes that you think that has been committed over the video, just feel free to share with me, and so that I can just have an idea and upgrade it later and fix it. Thank you. So just let's move on. Okay, to start with, let's see from the top on the about this Mac. You can see that the Mac OS Monterey is the latest version. There has been a couple of updates that I have taken through since the purchase, and I purchased this last 6 months away from now. Like in the month of August is what I can think about, and I don't remember the exact date, but it was in the first week, or say let's count it on the 1st of August for simplicity. So since then there have been a couple of Mac updates, and one of the updates was on this particular version, Mac Monterey, and I remember I took the update, and it's not hard and fast, but Apple will just keep you pushing with the notifications to take the updates, and eventually you will end up taking it. But it's not that there is that you have to take it, it's a mandate. You can still be there in the previous version and still just enjoy the services, but there are some things they might just hold up or have some patches, so it's better to just take the update after a certain time period, is what I have understood. Okay, so you can see this MacBook M1 model of 2020, and which just rolled out on the month of January 2021 as well. So it's been more than a year almost, and the chip is still the Apple M1 chip, and memory is 8 GB, and you followed by the serial number that you can see. Here the displays, you can see that they have presented with a built-in Retina display with 13.3-inch monitor, the resolution of 2560 by 1600, and you can see the display preference option as well, and followed I'm not going into that in details, and followed by a storage which just keeps on decreasing with time, and you can see that the available is 120.8 GB, and since the purchase, whereas it was at 256 GB when I just purchased the system. And here's the option to manage it. Unlike Windows, you will find that it's a single drive that comes with the Macintosh version with the HD, and you can see the breakdown as well, that how much the apps are consuming. You can see the documents are consuming how much. You can see the developer sections that we are going to just discuss later, that you can see how much the developer section is consumed, and you can also see how much the OS has consumed the space. And with time they keep on rolling the updates, and you will find that your space is getting diminished with time. So eventually you will have to just buy some more spaces, or you have to end up deleting the data. So that's how the Mac has been set up. And you can see very thin lines, so they have just given the options. Now with the support, as usual, MacBook provides their general standard support, and you can just reach out to them, and from here within your system about regarding your hardware coverage and chat and phone support, they will just provide you. And you can see that the limited support, limited warranty, expiry date is already given. So they have their own terms of this support as well, as per the Mac rules. So resources, you can find a lot of resources in the Mac resources. You can find a help user manual and the support on one side. On the Mac resources, on the computer, you will find specifications, hardware support, regulatory certification, and important informations. So this is the general basic overview about the Mac system, and then followed by that you see the system preferences and the App Store. Let's go to the system preferences first. You can find that as well. There are the system preferences been the same. There has been no change since the latest version has rolled out. Very few updates were made, very fine tunings were made. And I personally feel this Touch ID, it could have been better if we could have just incorporated them in the when the system just wakes up, or you are just starting the system, you can just incorporate Touch ID, and not once the system has started, you have opted in for a password password setup, so you have to give password. That's what I particularly feel that could have been better here. So that's one thing that I find Apple could have just made it, and not sure if they have done with this latest update, but once again, this is one good thing that we can just expect to just move things faster. And overall it's a good system preferences. And obviously we'll go to the battery section later, but if you go to the battery, and you will find the battery level easily it's taking me near about 10 hours or 12 hours, even after I'm using for 6 months. And just to let you know, I'm from India, and the Indian summer is arriving, so not sure how much stress the battery will take when the summer's arrived. And the system is totally made with metal, aluminum, totally covered, so might get things heated up and the battery might drain out faster. So I'm not sure about how the battery and the processor will react when the temperature rises. But overall I am very, very satisfied. I can say that it easily lasts anywhere near about 10 to 12 hours on my side, if you just keep on giving less stress, or like you're chatting or using your emails or using your computer for general work purpose, and not like high video streaming or graphics or etc. I have seen that they easily are lasting near about 10 to 12 hours still. Very well managed and proper. They have just set a benchmark, and seems that this is really a perfect one. And then if you see the settings, I would definitely recommend everyone to just go with their default settings, instead of just going some customized settings. That the brightness you can just set them up. You can decrease the brightness at times as per your liking. But I would just definitely recommend, after using for 6 months, I would recommend to just use their default settings. Yes, you can change the settings when required. That you might need to just turn on your computer for a long time period. So for example, on my end, I have found that when I'm just uploading or downloading files through FileZilla or similar kind of software, so I need to just keep just looked inside the internet, and this needs to just keep on running so that the files gets transferred. So for a prolonged time period of like 6 to 8 hours, depending on the number of files that you want to just manage. So whenever I just keep on running the FileZilla or something, so I need to just change the settings back. and I can just increase this, turn the display off after X number of minutes. I just set it to never, and then again I can just easily drag it to never, and then again once I'm done with my works, I can just restore the defaults, and it will just restore it to its default state. So I think that is the best way you can just tackle your battery, and you can save your battery from getting drained out, getting weared out, and the depreciation rate will be just much lower. And that's one thing. The other interesting thing that I found is that with power adapters, and once again, before going to the power adapters, just with this display turning on and off, turning on and off. So once you just let the display turn off, I have seen on occasions, if you're not aware of it, just to let you know, the total internet gets cut off. The internet connection gets cut off, at least as that has happened on my side. I'm not sure if there are any settings. If you know that we can fix that, please feel free to drop a comment there and just let me know. Yes, there are a lot of things that everyone needs to just share and understand, but these are the findings that we can exchange, and I believe we can make lives much better for everyone. And yeah, so what I have found, as I mentioned, that since for example I am using FileZilla a lot, so once I'm just using FileZilla, so when it comes of transferring the files, say for example I'm transferring a number of files, say X number of files from here to the server, I'm getting connected to the server, and just I'm transferring say 10,000 or 12,000 files or 20,000 files. So what happens is, I have seen that typically if you do not let the power charged and the adapter plugged in, so if this particular time period is over, then the display gets cut off and your internet gets cut off too. So in order to do that, I believe that you need to just either put your charger just plugged into the system, and that will just help you just keep on just getting with the internet that you're using, and will not cut off your internet connections. Or you can just change the settings to never, so that your internet connection remains stable. And it's another feature that I found that which is very good. I think Apple has done a lot of things to just make their battery optimized for a long-term usage. And so this section is about it on the battery side, which I think is one of the most important features that we can just find out. Next comes to the power adapter, and I have just changed the settings to never, and you see it's once again saying never letting your display go to sleep may shorten its life. So this is another warning that you will find. So you can easily change it by default. You can click to restore defaults, and you see what it happens after clicking on restoring defaults. It will go back to a certain time period, and you will find that okay, it has been moved from never to a different place, and we can just have that option, and it will just push you back there. And it's it will have, here is also a small help section or FAQ section that you can see, and preferences section that will give you the information about how to just change and manage the power adapter sections. So that goes that. And go for the schedule option will show you just when to wake up or when to start or something like that, and when to sleep. You can just handle this sleep is connected with the previous section, so you can easily manage that. So this is one important feature that I found with Mac that can be very important for you. Another important feature that I think that this is very important is from the internet accounts. Now I have found that I've got a lot of email accounts, you can see, from different systems that I have been using with this Apple Mail that I can use. Now at times, if you are just trying to just use your default webmail, that is the webmail that is provided by your server side, or say for different companies, they have got their own webmails, like GoDaddy has got one, HostGator has got one, and Bluehost have their own, different service providers have their built-in webmail systems. So I found that at times, even if you just upgrade your password or update your password on the or upgrade your system, after update your password, there you will find that at times that you want to just update your email accounts credentials, which will not push through. This is one small thing that I have found that could have been just much easier. So either you have to just remove that account and then just do it manually all over, or you have to just, I don't know, I haven't tried anything different, maybe a restart will do. So I found that issue while setting up different protocols that we generally do while setting up the Apple email. So I found that a bit difficult once a password has been updated or there has been an upgrade in the system. So that hit me a bit different way. So it could have been much smoother, and a password option update could have been much easier. So that one thing that I found could have been just fixed. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. I have tried the Touch ID, which is very smooth. The Touch ID works very smooth once you set up, but once again, as I mentioned in the first point, that it could have been better, that it could have been just used to just not only give permissions to different apps and others, but just to start the app, and once you need to log in, you don't need to just enter the password, and it will have an option to just enter your password ID along with your password. So that's one thing that I have used. Sound is fine and everything others, and security privacy, it's on its usual state. So I don't think there is much to just tell about them. Mouse and other hardwares are still the same, they were not affected as of now. And so basically, so these are the things that I have found. Now desktop screensavers, I'm not going into that. Dock is pretty much the same. Only one complaint or suggestion or request to Apple that we can make is that we have found at times that saving a folder in the section or particular section, say I have saved this credentials folder, I have to just click on it, I have to just go to the open in Finder in order to just open it, and then it will start opening. So those are 3 steps taken, and could have been much easier if just a simple click, instead of just I could have just opened this whole system. And maybe we can change this pattern, I am aware of it, but still I think open in Finder, and then if I open in Finder, then it takes to the Finder and just opens it. But could have been once again, and then application section once again. Here people, a lot of users that I have seen who are using Mac, while installing a new software, they get just a bit confused what to drag and how to just drag them up back to the bin in order to just remove them from the applications. Just the small things, I think maybe Apple has their own way of just explaining it, but you see that it's fine and everything is working fine here besides that. But from the user's point of view, there are a couple of things that I think that could have been much smoother, that will just reduce the steps in order to just get there. But overall, it's a very satisfactory performance that I have found. And let's come to some softwares that I have been using. And from, as I have already mentioned to you, there are some heavy softwares like IntelliJ IDEA, and you can see Visual Studio Code and others as well. So I have been using these heavy softwares as well. So for example, if I open this particular application and see how fast it opens up, you see it's pretty smooth. Even though if I just run Visual Studio Code parallelly, it opens up very smooth within 1 second to like less than 1 second or 9 milliseconds. It just opens up, and you can parallelly work on both of them, and you can easily enjoy your working time. But once again, I haven't seen any fluctuations yet after using it, and I have been using them parallelly at times. And I use Visual Studio Code a lot for JavaScript, HTML and all those other things, and I use IntelliJ IDEA solely for Java and only Java. So these 2 softwares, and I believe these are heavy softwares, and it can have an impact on your system, and especially the softwares like IntelliJ IDEA and Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Besides, Workbench is also there. If you see my MySQL Workbench, I am using that too. So MySQL Workbench is also running smoothly. It takes a little bit time compared to the others, and of course they have a lot of connection things that we need to do, and you see we are just using it regularly, but it's pretty fast when used simultaneously. You can find the difference when running a video or an audio, when a fraction of a second that you can see, or you can find if you have the headphones plugged into your ears, or you're using microphone, so you can have an idea how things are. So I think overall this is a very satisfactory performance from Mac already. So having said that, I think we can easily use that, and no major issues has been confronted with. But yeah, this has been good so far, and you can see already how fast they're closing and how fast things have been closing out, and yeah, this is pretty good. And coming back to their proprietary software, say for example Xcode, they had their proprietary software for just writing just codes, is Xcode. You can easily find it from here, from within their IDs, or you can just type in Xcode, and you see Xcode. There are different versions they're using. I'm not opening it because there's been a latest version of Xcode which is optional of course, but which you have to install it or upgrade it. And I have found that the version upgrades are very huge in size. They're greater than 10 giga at times, and so I believe that that could have an effect in the spaces, unless you are an Xcode developer or an native app developer of Apple systems or iOS. So I would recommend to just not take the update or upgrade whenever it just asks you to just go to the next version, because it will take up a lot of space from you. Eventually you can downgrade it or just remove it. Yeah, that's fine, it's up to you. But the safest way is to just bypass the updates from there, as I have found that they are very big in size, and I believe that they update the entire system. So that's one thing that I have found while using this. And overall, as I mentioned, it has been very satisfactory. You can see so many tabs that is kept open on different types of browsers are also used during the system. You can see my channel stack and queue, and once again the performance has been very satisfactory with this latest M1, and I believe they will keep on upgrading their system, and they will keep on just rolling out new versions and new hardwares, as well as we have already found that they have rolled out 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Air already with their native hardwares. And yeah, the prices are on the higher scale too, but I think it's pretty much the same, and just a fraction of difference in performance, that is what you will find. And I haven't purchased that the one with the touch screen, not the Pro version, only the general Air version, and I've been very satisfactorily using it. And there hasn't been a much difference. Only thing is that adds a bar above your keyboard, and you have to just use the touch screen to just control over that. And I think I'm happy with the one that I have purchased, and you can go either way. It's just the price difference, and then you can customize your things with Apple. But it's a good one. The one thing that I would recommend you, if I'm not sure where you are just located from. If you are from a cooler region, then it's fine, everything is fine, and if there is less pollution, it's perfectly fine. Otherwise, if you find that there are pollution levels are high on your city, or the temperature is comparatively hot, or hotter in you're living in a country which is just mid Asia or uh, eastern section, then I would recommend just go for key guard cover and screen cover, obviously, to just protect your screen and just to protect your keyboards. So I think besides that, your system is pretty hard, and hardware specs are good too. I think you'll find them in a lot of different videos, so I don't have to just explain it over and over again. So hardware specs I'm not going in anymore, but yeah, system is cool, and system is not getting a lot of it's not getting hot as of now, and this is the month of mid-February. Spring has setting here, but I feel that in the coming months I'll just try to just roll out another video after using 1 year, so that I have an idea once the summer pushes through how the laptop reacts after just going through the entire year, how the system specs react and what are the effects. And there is no fan, as already mentioned before, and it's fine and it's running very well. And so overall, it's I would give easily 8 to 8.5 out of 10 kind of performance that I have been just getting from Apple. And voice calls, video calls, and different types of conference calls are very smooth as of now. Voice is very neat and clean, and you see I'm recording this video and it's very clean, and everything is fine besides that. So I think the Apple M1 chip version that was rolled out last year and 2020 December, and then earlier 2021, and has been very satisfactory and is very productive, and I've been using it regularly and using it for 8 to 10 hours a day. So having said that, I would just say that okay, I'm going to conclude this video with positive remarks that okay, Apple has done a very good job, or a great job. You can easily say it's a great job, because they have just their own proprietary chips or hardware chips that has been rolled out. So they have done a great job as usual, and I've just completely moved from Windows to Mac and my Linux systems completely, and the journey has been very smooth so far. And watching the videos and different types of movies and other media like Amazon Music, I just run them and they're very smooth as well. So it's been great. So you can purchase it and you can use it even if you haven't so far. And I believe you can also go for the latest 14-inch version if you're just a fan of Apple. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And once again, thank you for your time to just stick throughout the video, and please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and so that I can just keep on rolling out new videos on different technologies. Thank you everyone. Bye.